Today we will discuss about pulp and periapical diseases. Pulp and periapical diseases is the basis of dentistry. See, this is the normal tooth. This is cusp, this is enamel, this is dentine, this is pulp. See, this is pulp and this is the apex of the pulp. In continuation with enamel, it is cementum. This is PDL, this is alveolar bone. This is the crown part of the tooth and this is root of the tooth. See, this is the normal tooth. This is initial caries involving enamel. I repeat, this is enamel, this is dentine, this is dentine, this is pulp. This is pulp. So this is caries involving only enamel. Caries involving only enamel. And the clinical feature in this case will be, there will be sensitivity. There will be sensitivity. See, this is caries involving dentine. In this case also pain is also there, but pain is very minimal. And this can be pulpitis, this can be reversible pulpitis or irreversible pulpitis. Now this is caries involving enamel, dentine and pulp. In this, pain will be there, and pain depends on severity. It can be acute or chronic. If the infection goes inside it, see, and reach periapical area, then it is periapical lesion. This is dental caries. This is clinical picture of dental caries. See, this is clinical picture of dental caries. Caries initially involves only the enamel and produces no symptoms. Caries initially involves only the enamel and produces no symptoms. See, this is caries involving enamel only and it produces no symptoms. Caries initially involves only the enamel and produces no symptoms. Now pulpitis. Pulpitis is when the infection reaches the dentine or the pulp. Carious lesion encroaching on pulp. Pulp becoming severely inflamed, causing acute pain because of confined space. See, pulpitis. Itis means inflammation. So it is inflammation of pulp. Pulpitis is inflammation of pulp. See, there are 4 cardinal signs of inflammation. In this, because this is closed space, so only pain will be there. Only pain will be there in case of pulpitis. Now this is classification of pulpitis according to Grossman. Pulpitis can be reversible and irreversible pulpitis. In reversible, it can be symptomatic and asymptomatic. In irreversible pulpitis, it can be acute and or chronic. In acute, it can be abnormal response to cold, abnormal response to heat. Means in pulpitis, in irreversible pulpitis, it can be acute and chronic. In acute case, it can be sensitive to cold or it can be only sensitive to heat. Now this is chronic pulpitis. Generally, in chronic pulpitis, pain is not there. So this is asymptomatic with pulp exposure. Sometimes hyperplastic pulpitis is there, Sometimes in chronic irreversible pulpitis, internal resorption is also seen. Now third subclassification is pulp degeneration. This can be calcific and others. And fourth is necrosis of the pulp. In necrosis of the pulp, pain is not there. Pain will be there only if inflammation is there. Now first one is focal reversible pulpitis. Now I repeat, caries involving enamel, dentine. This is reversible pulpitis. अगर अपन स्टिमुलस हटाएंगे तो पेन खत्म हो जाएगा. तो clinical features are, it is sensitive to thermal changes, particularly to cold. Means अगर अपन ठंडा पानी पिएंगे then it will be sensitive. पेन डिसअपियर्स अपॉन रिमूवल ऑफ द स्टिमुलाई. जब अपन ठंडा पानी पी लिया अपन ने या अपन आइसक्रीम खाई तो जब स्टिमुलाई अपन ने रिमूव कर दिया देन पेन विल डिसअपियर. सो दिस इज द टिपिकल फीचर ऑफ रिवर्सिबल पल्पाइटिस. नाउ treatment of reversible pulpitis, it is irreversible condition if the irritant is removed before severe pulpal damage. See, in pulpitis, if the irritant is removed and if filling is done, then it can be treated. Now this is acute pulpitis. It is a sequelae of focal reversible pulpitis. Now the clinical feature it is a sequelae of, see, this was reversible pulpitis. Now it is a sequelae of focal reversible pulpitis, means if we do not remove the infection and caries is there, then it will reach the pulp and it can lead to acute pulpitis. It occurs in a tooth with large carious lesion or in a tooth with defective restoration showing evidence of recurrent caries. Now again the treatment is endodontic treatment. Endodontic treatment involves RCT, root canal treatment. What is root canal treatment? Root canal treatment is, it removes all the pulp and then inert material is inserted in it. That procedure is called RCT. Now the chronic pulpitis, if we do not remove the irritant, then it lead to large carious lesion. No prominent pain. Large carious lesion is there and patient is adapted to stimuli or inflammation, so there is no prominent pain. But if a patient comes with a chronic pulpitis, then definitely he would have undergone a process like sequelae of dental caries. First dental caries was there, then reversible pulpitis was there. After that irreversible pulpitis was there, or acute pulpitis was there, and then chronic pulpitis. Now treatment is again RCT or extraction. Now irreversible pulpitis. Definition: it is the persistent inflammatory condition of the pulp, symptomatic or asymptomatic, caused by noxious stimuli. Treatment is RCT or extraction. Chronic hyperplastic pulpitis, pulp polyp. See, this is pulp polyp. This is again a sequelae of dental caries. अभी तक अपन ने पढ़ा dental caries, sequelae of dental caries. First dental caries is there. If the caries involves only enamel and dentine, then only sensitivity is there. If the caries involves more of dentine, then pulpitis is there. Pulpitis can be reversible pulpitis, irreversible pulpitis. Reversible pulpitis is when caries is there only in dentine, and on removal of stimuli the pain is removed, pain vanishes, then it is reversible pulpitis. If pain is persistent, that means if on removal of stimuli pain is also there, then it is irreversible pulpitis. If irritant is there, sometimes there is a condition called hyperplastic pulpitis. This is pulp polyp. See, this is pulp. Due to overgrowth or inflammation of pulp, this is carious lesion. This whole part of enamel is destroyed, dentine is destroyed, and this overgrows and it comes in the occlusion. This is the typical feature of pulp polyp. See, there is a difference between pulp polyp and gingival polyp. The main difference between pulp polyp and gingival polyp is, in pulp polyp is red in color because origin of pulp polyp is pulp and pulp is vascular. Sometimes it is confused with gingival polyp. Gingival polyp is the overgrowth of gingiva, but this is not deep red in color as in pulp polyp. Pulp polyp is deep red in color, that will be coral pink in color or slightly reddish in color. A pulp appears as a pinkish red globule of tissue protruding out of the pulp chamber and often filling the whole cavity. See, this is the typical feature of pulp polyp. See, large carious lesion is there and this is pulp, and on chewing there is severe pain on it, and I have mentioned it that it is confused with gingival polyp. Sometimes, see, this is gingiva. Sometimes this gingival overgrowth comes here, but see the difference of color. This will be dark red in color, this will be slightly pinkish in color. Now this condition is not reversible and is treated by pulp extirpation or extraction of tooth. We have to remove the pulp. Now I have mentioned it that if infection is persistent and it reaches the periapical area, then periradicular diseases are there. It is acute periapical periodontitis, periapical granuloma, apical periodontal cyst, periapical abscess. See, मैंने पहले एक्सप्लेन किया था कि if infection is there on enamel, dentine, pulp and if the infection is not removed or treatment is not done, then it reaches the periapical area. See, this is periapical area of the tooth, and if it reaches the periapical area, then periradicular diseases are there. See, these are some of the periradicular diseases, that is apical periodontitis, periapical cyst, periapical granuloma. See, this is enamel, dentine, pulp. Infection has reached in periapical area. This is periapical abscess, and this is apical periodontitis. See the difference between apical periodontitis and periapical abscess is apical periodontitis. Clinically अगर अपन देखें तो there will be no swelling in apical periodontitis. There will be swelling in periapical abscess. This is clinical presentation. Pain in both the cases will be there, but the difference will be tenderness on percussion is present in apical periodontitis also and periapical abscess also. But pain on palpation is there only in periapical abscess. I repeat, pain on palpation is there only in periapical abscess. Pain on palpation is not there in apical periodontitis. And this is the differentiating feature between apical periodontitis and periapical abscess clinically. Radiographically, there will be a difference. See, this is apical periodontitis, this is periapical abscess. I repeat, tenderness on percussion is there in apical periodontitis, but pain on palpation is not there. Periapically, we see this is a radiolucency adjacent to root apex. This is called widening of PDL, widening of periodontal space. If infection is persistent, then this is the sequelae. After apical periodontitis, patient will undergo periapical abscess. See this radiolucency. Now periapical granuloma. See, this is periapical granuloma. This radiolucency. These are all radiographic features. And this is periapical cyst, large cyst. This is periapical cyst. I repeat, periapical cyst is a sequelae of dental caries. पहले dental caries होगा. Dental caries that can be sensitive. That if अगर वो सिर्फ enamel dentine में होगा, then it will be sensitive. अगर वो pulp पे चला गया, then pulpitis will be there. Pulpitis is of two types: reversible pulpitis, irreversible pulpitis. अगर फिर भी अपन ने पेशेंट का ट्रीटमेंट नहीं किया, then it will reach apex. एपेक्स में जाने के बाद पेरीरेडिकुलर टिश्यूज में वो इन्फेक्ट करेगा. दैट कैन बी apical periodontitis, periapical abscess, periapical granuloma and periapical cyst. And the treatment is either root canal treatment or extraction. Thank you.